Like a contractor waiting for the next DPWH project, we can't wait for the next UAP season. It's almost here. Welcome to the Quiver Podcast. Thanks for listening to another episode, and welcome to the next of our preview episodes as we lead up to the UAP opening, happening in just a few weeks, guys. Just a few more weeks. And a number of topics today. We'll be talking about the UAP opening date and the festivities happening around that. Those opening games, which we might have an idea of a schedule of. A new assistant coach coming on LaSalle on board with LaSalle. A former alumnus returning to LaSalle, transferring in. And we'll be talking about who cracks our final 16 for the Green Archers. Well, thanks for listening today. I'm Kiko, joined today by Brian. Say hello.
Hello.
Mr. Vic Hapin, say hello.
Hello.
Hello. And back from his scouting trip, Mr. Gio Igual.
Long story.
New York, France. I hope it was a good recruitment trip for you.
We don't talk about that.
Sabay niya si Tab.
ang tanong ko lang kay Gio, aeroplano naman yung ginamit niya dumating sa Pilipinas, no? Hindi helicopter.
Oo.
Hindi ka naman ano ba, yung chopper mo hindi naman nalapag kung san-san lang eh, no? Hindi
naman. Aeroplano naman. Pero we might get our first French LaSalle player. Na hindi si St. John Baptist de LaSalle, diba? So okay lang.
Yes.
Really?
French,
okay.
French.
So we'll watch out for that. Going back to our roots. Wala kasi din siyan eh. LaSalle School tayo. Okay, guys. Alright, guys. Let's focus in on today's episodes. First, starting, we finally have news a few weeks before the opening of when the opening of Season 8-8 will actually be. That's on September 19. The opening will be happening at the UST campus grounds. News reports say it's a Paskuhan-style celebration, which is the traditional UST celebration on campus they have during the Christmas season, with the theme very UST-like, strength in motion, hope in action.
Humor po, lakas tao.
Ano yan? Mapapasign of the cross ka habang
you really do notice when it's UST hosting. I remember season 79, they had the theme Dare to Dream, accompanied the own theme song. And they messed up the sequence of everything. I remember it was during the FIBA Olympics. They said, hey, these schools should have their own national anthem to start. They should sing the alma maters at the beginning of the game, not at the end. And that threw off everything. We sang the victory song at the start. Some schools sang the alma mater. I really feel like when UST is hosting, it's more of if it ain't broke, still try to fix it. That's how I see when UST hosts. Vic, what are your expectations coming to UST's hosting for their opening ceremonies come September 19?
Parang ano lang yan, Second Vatican Council. Di ba, nung una, nakatalikod yung pari sa altar, di ba? Nakatalikod yung pari sa altar. Tapos Second Vatican Council, bawal na yun. Kailangan nakaharap na.
Tapos maghihintay. If it's white smoke, start na yung UAP. Yun ang hihintayin. Habemos season. Habemos you up. Habemos you up.
Hindi, unang-una, dapat walang ulan. Yun yung unang-una, dapat walang bagyo niyan. Kasi yun pa lang, wala na, yari ka na. Pero bali-balita, di ba, magtatayo ng malaking catch basin sa football field nila, di ba, sa ilalim. So yun yung nababalitaan nating plans ni I'm not sure if it's MMDA spearheading it o siya dapat DPWH, di ba? Sakto sa mga contractors. More than meets the eye. Mga kalaban ni Autobots, Decepticons, contractors. Kalaban nila yan. But anyhow, something new as always, pero sa atin naman, ako personally, I don't really mind that much with the opening. Kung pwede lang, bakbakan na agad. Laro na tayo more than the opening. So, if that's the prerogative ng host, so
yeah.
Kung saan sila masaya, dun tayo.
Yeah. I think we'll be saying that a lot this year, Vic. Pagbigyan. Every 1 year, out of every 8 years naman sila. So, pagbigyan. Also, if it does rain, it does flood, they could do it like Paris style. The athletes on the boats going through the flood, di ba? World-class standards.
Sabi nga ni Vic last time, yung amphibian ni Yorme Hiramiro.
Yung amphibian ni Yorme magagamit natin.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of pomp and circumstance with UAP opening ceremonies and themes because it's a yearly thing. You don't need a theme or big openings for a yearly tournament. You don't see it in other leagues, right? Brian, I heard you see another theme song coming up also this year. Expectations for the theme song. Or their hosting in general.
Kinantaya tayo nung kapangalan ni Baklaan si Kian. But I haven't heard it. Parang sabi ko, I'll be hearing it probably throughout the season. Let's see na lang. I mean, it's a novelty nga. I think when we found out it's UST's turn, we're not really surprised to see things like this popping up.
Mga talaga May mga pakulo.
Yes.
Ang masasabi ko na lang siguro to their credit is that, I mean, they started this league, so baka they're trying to make themselves relevant in this league. Kasi at the moment, parang nagiging afterthought sila sa basketball. I mean, volleyball, they were there. But basketball, parang okay. They want to maybe make themselves known in different ways. I mean, it's their league after all. So, siguro gano'n na lang tinitignan to. You know, may special appraisal of UST, diba? So, I mean,
you're very diplomatic there with the way you gave your thoughts there, Brian. Yeah, UST they get a bit extra. You know, they have a mass ceremonies. They have an opening. Gio, I know you're a very big fan of their theme song last time in switching up the alma maters. What did you make? I was curious. What did you make of that? Going back to season 79 with Dare to Dream. What did you make of all those switching and stuff they did where they had to sing the alma mater the first part? Kasi Lasal, no yun given that we, did the tradition, started the new tradition in here in collegiate leagues.
To be diplomatic about it, I appreciate the thoughtfulness to innovate.
Ayun!
Ayan!
Pinaganda!
But when I found out that it's back to UST, and I was like, and I told you guys this on our chat group, na parang, okay, expect a theme song, expect all these stuff. And if you remember years back, like when UST did the alma mater, they would also raise their fist. It was starting season.
Oh yeah,
that they started to do.
Yeah.
So again, I appreciate the innovation, but I guess my personal preference is let's keep the alma maters after the game. All these things.
You can do what you want. In your time, just do what you want. Right? You have your 3 minutes.
Yeah. And if you think about how the EPL does it or how Formula does it, they do have a theme song, but no one's singing.
Yeah.
Diba? Uy, lang, pagka Champions League, yun, may kumakanta pag Champions League.
Di kami makaka-relate ni Gio dyan this year. So.
What is that?
yung sa bato Europa League, wala naman lyrics Wala tugtog lang talaga.
Wala lyrics.
Yun lang yun.
They just want you guys to get a good night's sleep on the weekdays. That's the only reason for it. But, alright guys, now, looking towards the opening, we'll see and discuss what surprises UST has up their sleeves come the opening. As they say, necessity is the mother of invention, and UST is the mother of reinvention for that sake. But to the basketball, on the 20th, looks like basketball festivities are starting the 20th and 21st. It looks like, and Eric was referring to this off camera last time, and thank you for Eric for guesting last week. You check out this episode. Exciting stuff coming from Signal for the upcoming seasons. He's saying that probably games will be in QPAB due to some scheduling conflicts with the World Cup, other sporting events going around at the same time. what we've seen so far is it looks like they're going to stick to the 1-3-2-4 format. It'll be UST declaring they have a home game in QPAB against UP against the defending champions. I mixed up the schedule during our pre-pod. I said, oh, hindi pa 1-3-2-4. O nga pa, hindi pa tayo champion last year. Vic corrected me on that one. Vic, unfortunately, hindi. Vic, what are your thoughts on the opening schedule, 1-3-2-4, and then having in QPAV?
Sana maulit yung, kasi di ba, if you recall, last season, dun yung ganda ng shooting natin kahit medyo mahirap shumot sa court na yun eh. So, and then we had a very, very good shooting display. Second round, we beat Adamson comfortably. So, yun, sana maulit yun, yung game natin. Magkaroon ulit ng magandang shooting display that will lead us on opening day win.
Yeah, so we're playing Adam. If it's a 1-3-2-4, 1 versus 3, 2 versus 4, following the CUP scheduling format, we play Adamson. So it's really a rematch of last year's Final Four festivities. Yep. Yeah, last year's final. Brian, thoughts on having the opening? We're not used to having the opening basketball festivities at a smaller venue, but I guess circumstances dictate. What do you think of opening weekend scheduling?
I just hope na wala masyadong traffic in the area, because I don't think this will be combined tickets for the 4 teams that would be involved in a particular day.
Oh, good point.
So good point. They have to get things in order. We know UST, it can be busy there, especially yung Sunday, kasi diba may hospital dyan, may church, so a lot of traffic going on. So yeah, but smaller venue, we're not used to it, but if that's the circumstances, then I guess we just have to embrace it. Make the most fresh start. I think nasabi ni Vic, maganda yung laro natin against Adamson, although our last game was quite
against NU, medyo hindi maganda.
Against NU. So we have to
forgettable.
I was there. Sabi ko, parang ayoko muna manood ng game sa UST ulit. But it's refreshing na lang siguro. I just hope this time around mas maraming manood, because it's quite a good venue actually. Pero yun, it would have to fit just the 2 teams playing, and kailangan i-separate mo siya, kasi if you want a big opening attendance, you have to tape it as yung capacity niya, ibenta mo lang dun sa 2 teams naglalaro at a time. And maybe what they will do, as Eric alluded to before, is they can squeeze into the men's, women's, men's pattern that we saw also last season. So pwedeng mangyari green archers and then lady archers, or the other way around, depends on what time they decide to schedule the games.
Yeah, and interesting that it'll be that UST UP will be a blockbuster game for sure. I'm sure even the bigger venue will have been packed, most probably, with those 2 teams contending for the Final Four this season. Gia, how do you feel about that opening matchup against Adamson? Of course, you have a preview down the road, but initial thoughts? Will you be going to the venue? Is it worth your trip to UST to watch?
Well, I don't want to commit yet. I think for that, ideally, I do want to watch the game. But of course, like, there's a lot of other things. Like, I don't know what time it's gonna be. I think like ang daming other things that I just have to consider along the way. But obviously, the last time I went to UST, it was not that easy. Might have to take a Grab or something like that. I mean,
to be clear, Gio, were you there for your entrance exam, or those for a sporting event? UST exam pa yun.
It was the UE game. It was the UE game.
Okay.
That pivotal UE game.
Yeah, the pivotal UE game. I was there. So, I mean, that's also part of it, kasi swerte yun. The last time I was there, we did quite well, di ba? So, anyway, pag-iisipan ko. Not on the Adamson game, well, it's okay to, I think my answer to that, it's okay to play that in UST. I think that's my answer to that. Yeah, like, probably, if we're playing an NU, UP, or Ateneo in UST, that's just not gonna work. So let's see. But Again,
And matchup wise, Gio, I think it's better than it's a better opener for us to get settled in, get the rust out, get the jitters out versus to compare. Last year played NU, right? Who's in the
yes,
Final Four. I think.
yes,
Are you more comfortable playing Adamson as an opening game
yes, for
for
sure.
like a UST? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think I would absolutely like it to play a team that's a little bit lower in the ranking. And you has made it difficult for us throughout the preseason. We beat them several times, but to get the rust out, etc. I think that's also important for us. We ended the preseason, at least in the Philippines, not that great. So hopefully we can get a little bit of momentum going back into that.
All right, guys. Now moving away from the opening, before we tune in on LaSalle matters, some news brewing in the past 2 weeks that concerns the league as a whole was the PBA filed a request for the UAAP to allow graduating players to apply for the PBA draft even during the season. Because the PBA draft is happening soon, right? This allowed the NCAA. UAAP says no. If you declare the draft, you'll be done with you forfeit your eligibility. You can't have two at the same time. UAAP said no to the PBA. Of course, PBA had wasn't too happy about it. They felt that it was a good chance for the students to join the league. We can spend episodes talking about what's some things wrong with the PBA and what they can do better. But focusing on this draft issue, Vic, what are your thoughts? Is it the right move by the UAP? I know they're saying it's a timing thing, where it was too soon to the draft for them to make a decision. But as a policy, what do you think of allowing UAP players to join the PBA draft even when the season is ongoing?
Hindi siya okay. Kasi ako personally, ano yan eh, meron ng tendency mag-ingat talaga yung player niyan eh. And hindi ko sila masisisi. Kasi if you get drafted by a team, and parang ano din eh, if maayos kang tao, you will take that pro team in consideration eh. Kahit na naglalaro ka pa sa final playing year mo na, shucks, in a few months time, babayaran na ako nitong team na to.
Correct.
I should,
Correct.
parang, di ba, hindi okay na sige, sabihin natin bubuhos ko lahat, tas at some point, bigla ako may injure. Paano na yan? Parang, syempre, may part of you na medyo mahihiya ka din na, shucks, hindi ako yung pro team na to, inasahan nila ako, I mean, with this contract and all, tapos, hindi ako makakalaro kasi injured ako. Kasi dahil, yun nga, kasi it really happens eh. Whether mag-ingat ka maglaro or hindi ka mag-ingat maglaro, may risk talaga eh. So, paano kung ma-injure ako, di ba? So, hindi ko, yan siya eh. I think I read this sa article ni, Kinito Henson na parang, I think he said something like, yung reasoning ni UAAP is like, wala kang tiwala sa player to that effect.
Yes, integrity.
Parang
questioning their integrity. Correct, that's what he said.
Oo, yung integrity ng player. Pero kung titignan sa akin, hindi, I won't take it against the player. Kasi pag nag-draft ka na, pagka pinapirma ka na ng kontrata ng team na yon, iisipin mo rin talaga siya na what if something happens to me, nakakahiya. Kung ako medyo ka mag-isip pa. Kaya talagang hindi mo may iwasan na yung players will really kumbaga they will pace themselves on that final playing year kasi mas high stakes na yung involved kasi meron ka ng kontrata na inaantay after mo maglaro ng final playing year mo. So ayun siya. Pati yung focus din ng player, medyo din siya, yun nga. Yung focus ng player, dun na talaga mapupunta yun eh. Kasi nga parang, syempre, you don't want to fuck anything up pagdating mo sa pro level in how many months time. So, yun, kaya hindi ako in favor na i-allow na magpa-draft. Just finish the season and then you can do whatever you want. Whether mag-MPBL ka, mag-entertain ka abroad, or mag-antay ka ng draft within the year.
Yeah. Yeah, again, the PBA is of course trying to get the leg up on these foreign leagues who are getting the UAP stars. My thoughts there, Vic, and going on your point is, you know, the NBA draft happens after the college season.
Yes.
If the PBA wants these UAP players, then adjust your draft schedule to start the draft.
Yes.
Your draft to start after the
Correct.
collegiate season. You adjust. You don't make these leagues adjust
Hindi,
and
pati
determine
kids,
and
di ba?
extra eligibility rules. Yeah.
Di ba yung current rule ngayon sa US NCAA, di ba? Since okay yung timing ng NBA draft eh. If you don't get drafted, pwede ka maglaro ulit sa college eh.
Yep.
If you don't get drafted, pwede ka
By a
maglaro
certain
ulit sa college.
deadline, you can still pull out.
Yeah.
Correct. By a
Diba?
certain deadline.
Parang, 'di ba? Parang I mean, if maayos yung scheduling, pwede namang gawin 'yan eh. If
Yeah.
they get drafted, syempre pro ka na, hindi ka na pwede makabalik talaga ng collegiate. Pero kung hindi ka ma-draft, meron ka pa ring option magbalik. So, ano yan kung if the PBA really wants that, adjust nila yung calendar nila siguro. Yun
Yeah.
yung win-win sa ganyan.
Yeah, the PBA has issues with the calendar. I've talked about the three conferences before. It's a wholly different topic. But Gio, how important is it for the league to not blur those lines between pro and the collegiate ranks? We know they do get perks like a pro sometimes, but it's important to have that fine line that if entered the draft, you're declared as a pro, but you're still in the collegiate rank. How important is it to draw that line?
I think it's very important that they draw that line. I think it's good that they took a stand now and said, no, PBA, we can't do that right now. Because Vic's absolutely correct, right? Like, the moment you sign a professional contract, um, you'll never know what happens, right? And you'll never know, like, at the back of their head, ayaw ba nila mag-injure? Are they not going to perform during certain games? Especially, like, can you imagine a situation where, let's say, a couple of PBA players are drafted in the finals, UAP players are drafted in the finals, and they're not going to go all out because they're afraid to get injured and they're going to be afraid to lose their contracts. So they need to make sure the UAP has a duty to make sure that that line between professional and amateur is kept at least from a contract signing standpoint. And I do agree with both of you as well that maybe the PBA can adjust their draft or can rethink this entire thing because let's face it, right? Like the best players of the UAAP are going
Mhm.
abroad, and the teams abroad are not drafting these players; they're signing them on contracts. And why do we need to keep doing that? And why can't a UAP player get a contract after the season ends so that they can immediately play in the PBA? Like it's time to. I think it's worth it to rethink that procedure. Josh, CJ waited a whole year to do this and played in the MPBL. They enjoyed it, but alam mo yun, those are things that they need to think about. But just to round about your question, it's really the duty of the UAAP not only to not blur the lines, but also to be fair across all schools, meaning all schools and all sports. Sorry for that. Like
Yes.
kunwari, last year, si Eliza Solomon from NU supposedly got a
Yeah.
contract. From
Correct. Good point.
yeah,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, because the volleyball season is a second half sport, and technically speaking, if the first half si volleyball, theoretically lang, Eliza Solomon could have completely signed that contract,
Yes.
right? Like
Correct.
how we need to find a way to be fair across all sports, or else the UAAP will be under the gun to start moving around to start adjusting to whatever draft. Can you imagine the basketball season starting in the second half para makadraft yung mga tao sa PBA at the end of the season, or the volleyball moving to the first half so that they can draft into whatever? I think the other sports institutions should find a way to manage that as well. And let's face it, this has been a long time problem. Even way back when the UAP men's basketball started in June, diba? Like we talk about the likes of Sinam. and Vic, you would probably remember, alam mo yung mga nagpapadraft dati tapos kinakabahan sila kung eligible pa ba sila, or yung
Yes.
yung ayaw magpa-draft until matapos yung finals and lang hindi sasubmit.
I think Gian naman yung naging bakit nagkaroon ng Don Aliado rule eh. Kasi 'di ba, parang siya nagkakaroon ng nagkakaroon ng confusion sa fine line kasi for example, like for Aliado's case, he was drafted already by Alaska, and yet he still played his final playing year no 1999. So parang pro ka na, tapos naglalaro ka pa diyan. Kasi parang yun technically pro na nun si Don eh.
Yes.
And yet he still played back in 1999. So it really causes confusion sa status ng player na pro na yan, bakit naglalaro pa. So 'di ba? Just para to simplify things, mas madaling maintindihan, straightforward, o magantay ka matapos yung season mo bago ka para at least habang naglalaro ka, nakaka-check ka sa sarili mo na amateur status ka.
Yeah. How about you, Brian? Is there any situation you'd see a middle ground between the UAP and the PBA here?
Interesting points brought up by Vic and Gio. Nakikita ko nga yung compromise na wag na gawin yung draft sa PBA kasi medyo issue din yan, di ba? About being parang nagiging yan minomonetize na iba, but that's a PBA problem, not a UAP problem. And then yung sinabi din ni Vic na yun nga about the players being precaution, may precaution na sila in themselves na syempre livelihood. You don't, parang yung buhay mo sa court would be lost. So those are two valid concerns. Ang iniisip ko naman is, di ba meron tayong case ngayon sa football team, got to play in the Pro League before, and then he's serving residency this season. So that's another avenue maybe for at least the MPBL or the PVL level na hindi nakaka-playing time if they want to come back. Maybe that's another channel na mag-residency lang ulit siguro sila. If may work pa sa kanila yung college, parang yung arguments na di ba, nasusunog sa pro kasi maaga masyado na pro or something like that. But going back to what was said, valid yun, and sa akin ang pinaka middle ground is just have that agreement with the league siguro na they have to start from somewhere. Siguro if there's a senior and may intention to go pro, if hindi nila ma-move yung draft nila or yung season nila to accommodate the college season, then they can immediately categorize those players na ma-meet yung certain requirements. Sila na magsaset na kung kunwari, naglaro ka na sa college for at least 3 years or kung ano man yung gusto nila iset na parameters for the players to meet. Pag na-meet yun, pwede na sila maging unrestricted free agents. Kasi I think, ganun din mangyayari. Di ba may mga nagsasabi, Kevin Fiambao, since he turned a certain age, is also an unrestricted free agent sa NBA. So, hindi na niya kailangan magpa-draft. So, I guess, having that kind of mechanism. Pero, dapat pag-usapan yan ng PBA and ng UAP. I mean, sila dapat yung magkaroon ng coordination dyan. Kasi itong problem na to is maybe basketball and volleyball centric.
Yeah, specific.
Correct. Yung mga mainstream yan eh.
It doesn't relate to, let's say, a football, baseball, or maybe, syempre, yung mga individual sports. Wala silang dyan. So, I guess it's still up to the UAP with regards to coordination dun sa pro leagues na prominent sa team sports to really establish a middle ground of rules, engagement.
All right. Thanks, guys. So now we can focus in now on the next stop before we focus on the next topic of this new assistant coach coming to LaSalle. First, I want to thank our sponsors. First, Blue Fire LPG, the only blue that's right for you for all your commercial needs. For cafeterias, offices, contact Blue Fire LPG on social media. And of course, Sabi Skincare for younger, rejuvenated skin. Sabi Skincare. Also, thanks to Ibarra Manila. Guys, starting off with Gio. News came out past week. LaSalle legend, Hall of Famer, jersey retiree Renner Netualo, head coach of the Sal Green Hills as well, is coming back to LaSalle to coach as an assistant coach, saying he's here to help with our free throw issues or shooting issues. What you make of a move like this? Are you excited for Renren back on board with the team?
If there's anything I learned about supporting Manchester United over the last 10 years, it's not the coach, it's the players.
Okay.
But seriously, but seriously, when I think it's a great move because when Jeron was struggling in the free throw line, Ren helped him out, and he really really improved. His last finals game against Ateneo was really what a performance. And if you think about Jeron, like his mid range improved, his free throws improved, and even his 3-point shooting improved. And we and I'm excited to see what Coach Renren can do with the boys so that they will they can really improve their free throw shooting. If anything, I think it's great that there is a dedicated shooting coach, and let's see how that works out. What I will say about this, but I will come in here, and that's the reason I'm coming in here as cautiously optimistic, is because we also had a great free throw coach a few years ago. If you guys know his name, si Alan Kaidik. And
Yeah.
a big part of, I think a bigger part here is really the psychological side of the players. Na they need to find a way to zone it all out and really find a way to shoot. Because yun nga like we've always heard these stories over the last 10-15 years. Pagdating sa practice, they're shooting it very well. 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
But it's only when the lights get brighter that they start to have a hard time. So if Coach Renren can provide that psychological advantage, then that would be great. Of course, another thing that we can do is ask someone from LaSalle to check if our courts are properly calibrated. Baka naman yun yung mali. Baka kaya miss tayo na miss na. But seriously, I would be very cautiously optimistic about this, especially since Coach Renner is coming specifically for this problem only. To be very specific and laser focused on that, I think makes it important.
Yeah. Or it could be, Razon's on the Razon basketball court is on the upper floors. Maybe there's something with the altitude there that throws off the free throws, Gia, as well, kung hindi yung ring, not the alignment of the ring.
Yeah, tama yun.
Going to you, Brian. Yeah, Gio's right, and that's what Renner said as well. He said he's not going to change the mechanics of the players, but it's really coming here for the mental aspect of those free throws, because the UAP is different, the drums are there, the crowds are there. Do you see this a promising development that we're bringing on Renren as our shooting coach to address the free throws?
Yes, but not limited to the free throws. I think from what we've seen sa World University Basketball Series, we need the mid-range and the deep range then timely. I think yun pa lang din, malaking bagay yun. Kasi I think most of our games last season, marami naman tayo din opportunities. So going back to what Gio was saying, it's not the coach, it's the players. Maraming opportunities. It's really how we make the most of them. And if we're not clinical enough in the nailing the free throws, nailing the mid-range, if we cannot create enough opportunities for us this season, nandun yung trouble. But at least having Ren on board means that when we have those opportunities, matutulungan niya yung players to polish it. Mentally, yung, hindi nga yung mechanics kasi everyone has different mechanics, diba? Useless na baguhin yan. I mean, siguro improve, but only to a degree. Like, you don't really drastically change and expect, diba, some results. So, I think everyone has shooting, even Mike Phillips in our team. Kasi diba, minsan he hits that occasional 3 or occasional free throw. Minsan nagto 2 out of 2 siya pagka ganun, parang, uy, cause for celebration.
A broken clock is still right twice a day. That's how I see it sometimes.
So to round it out, I think, yeah, he's a good addition and hopefully an source of inspiration too kasi, di ba, pag nasa practice, the players will already see, tinutulungan sila ng someone who has his jersey hanged in the rafters of the
Yep.
sports
Yeah.
complex. So, that's already like, he put in the effort when he was with Lasal. So I hope yung work ethic din na yun, mabahin ng players kasi that's something that mahirap ituro eh. I mean, when we say that to players, it's either you have it or you don't. So if you have that inspiration there, helping you out actively, mapapaisip ka na din sarili mo. If he is determined to show me the way, then I must at least repay his fate. And obviously, when they do that, they also repay the fate of the Lasallian crowd.
Okay. And Vic, maybe now you can talk. Brendan's still the coach of LSGH.
Yep.
Aside of being a public official, but still a coach in LSGH. How important is having that pipeline between GH and and DLSU? We've had recruits from there, Kines, past recruits. But is it important to have that official link as him as member of an assistant coach, or that doesn't have much impact as we think?
I think ideal naman yung ganong setups na you get your juniors coaches to be assistants to the senior team. Kasi ako, ang tingin ko dyan is that you get to pass on yung may idea ka kung anong player types yung kailangan mo i-build so that they can be prepared when they step into the practices na sa Razon if they want to end up playing for DLSU. At least meron silang idea anong klaseng player archetype yung kailangan nila i-develop on their own backyard. For example, with Coach hindi lang kay Renren but also kay Coach Gian Nazario who is also on the staff. So same thing goes for Zubel and Green Hills na we know what type of players yung on our own backyard. Alam namin kung ano yung kailangan naming ihulma on these players wanting to go to LaSalle for college. Alam na namin kung ano yung with the knowledge ng sistema, alam namin kung anong klaseng players yung i-develop namin on our own backyards during their high school playing years na magiging important. Seamless yung transition na if they from high school to college, less learning curve perhaps and mas madaling makaka-adapt playing with the system ni Coach Topex.
Yeah. And going now to Coach Topex, I'm sure in the final weeks of the lead up to the UAAP, he's finalizing that lineup
Yun.
for the UAP season. Who will be our 16 to go for LaSalle in season 88? So guys, now, no one's asking us, but if we were in Coach Topex's shoes, if we were in Coach Topex's shoes, let's try to form our 16, final 16, who will be put in the roster for the UAP season for DLSU. Okay, we can go one by one, and we can list them down. We can all get a pick each, I guess. All right, let's start off with Gio. Who's your first name on the roster sheet?
Thomas. Just kidding.
To-
Just kidding. First name, siguro si Mike Phillips.
All right, Mike Phillips. So one. So we have Mike as number one. How about you, Vic? Quickly, or who will be your next man up?
Pero gusto sabihin. Hindi ko sasabihin.
Save mo sa 16 yan. I know who you're thinking about.
Meron akong gusto sabihin, kaso hindi ko kaya sabihin. Baka ma-flood control tayo.
Yeah.
Since nag-start tayo sa bigs, I'll go for Bright. Kasi we definitely need size.
Yep.
Everybody saying at this era na it's small ball. Puro small ball yung naririnig mo. But if you don't have the size and the height, I don't think you're going anywhere. So, Bright. Kasi I think, I'm not, based dun sa nabalitaan natin, I think si Henry is injured. So, I think we will really have to go to Bright na as our FSA for this season.
Yeah, we're lucky we have Mike Phillips, who is our FSA cheat code. He gives us FSA numbers, gives us an FSA playstyle. But he's Filipino.
Cheat code.
We need Bright to relieve those minutes. How about you, Brian? Who's your...
Papadaliin ko ba yung trabaho natin at least? Dalawa na yung
Sure.
name. So, sabihin ko na yung transferee 4. Yun, apat na yun. So, i-nominate na natin agad yung apat para lang umiksi yung oras.
Alright, let's go.
Tama.
That's Pablo, Amos, Cortez, and Baclahan, just to be clear. Yan, no? So,
Okay.
ayun na,
Oh,
para
kasi
lang
baka mamaya isipin nila, may transfer.
Oo nga.
Sino transferee yan?
Para malinaw. Baka sabihin nila, may transfer pa.
I mean, the only reason is, I mean, we tapped them, diba? And they didn't show any, like, they're still among our key players. So, as long as they're fit, should be in.
Alright, so that forms our core. Heavy playing time as well for these guys for Amos, Pablo, during our preseason tournaments. Gio, who are our next shoe-ins for the lineup?
Since Brian said 4, I'll go for 4 na rin. I mean, I think
That will make our jobs much easier. Go for it.
I think these are the people who've played a lot naman last season, and I think it's fair that they will make it to the lineup as well. So that's Doy Dungo, EJ Goliana, JC Makalalag, GH Boy, and of course si Boris. I think those guys are pretty
yung
much...
natin, yung wings. Even si Earl, yan naman na si Earl kasi yun yung wing.
And,
that's the wing core.
That's si Earl. Yeah, sama na natin si Earl. So that's how many? That's 5 plus 4.
11.
1.
Yeah, 11. Alright, so we have about 5.
And
Si Lebron, syempre, si Lebron Daep. Feeling ko dapat
Ayun.
nandiyan si Lebron Daep.
So we're gonna go the rookie, LeBron Daep, will get a slot.
I think. Kasi feeling ko, what I like about him, binabanggit ko na to paulit-ulit, yung style of play niya mag-fit na hindi niya kailangan, hindi siya ball dominant player na can play 3 and 4 spots na off ball. So I think pwede siyang masama for our 16-man
Binabanggit
lineup.
yan ni Vic simula pa lang nung final series ng Perpetual sa GH.
Yeah. Oo.
Yeah.
Diba?
So we now have a 12-man, which is a stretch for rotation. Mostly have 12 players on the bench for the entire bench. UAP, we're generous. We have more seats. It's less patron tickets to give out. We have more people on the bench. I guess, do we go with... Who else do we go with, Brian? Does Melencio got a spot for you?
Yes, I was
Real
gonna say.
Melencio?
Tingin ko, he's been unfortunate with injuries the past 2 seasons. Could have really used him when Earl got injured last season. I think we could have plugged him, and even if hindi nag-champion, at least he could have acquired that experience he needs. When I see him play, I think there's that coachability in him, and he's also not easily faced. So I like what he can bring to the team. So it's a good name to put forward to the list.
Gio, last 3 slots. Vic, Brian, who do you want for last 3 slots? Just call them out.
Ako, maybe I'll start with the easier one, siguro. I think I'll give Kines as the slot.
Yeah.
Kines comes up with a fantastic performance.
Coming from GH as well. That's all Green Hills in the finals. Good performance. Vic?
Pardon me. Banggit na ba si Ethan?
Hindi pa. But I wanted to get Ethan actually.
Or si Matthew,
Kasi
Willie.
Kasi hindi natin, I do think na pa rin, kailangan, with si Jillian and Ethan will provide that depth sa 1 and 2.
And I also think
you need... Sige.
I also think Ethan got a lot of playing time, and I think he's really improving. So I actually think medyo shoe-in siya sa lineup natin.
Yeah, agree.
So we have Ethan. Then who gets our last slot, Brian?
Ilan pa?
We have one more.
Mahirap to eh. Nagbigay na tayo lahat ng names eh. So sige ko na to.
It's Philip, Bright, Namangko, Pablo, Amos, Cortez, Baclahan, Dungog, Goliana, Makalalag, Marasigan, Abadam, LeBron Daep, Melencio, Kines, and Alyan.
All right.
One more slot.
Yeah, I'll give you guys the names of those that are not yet on the lineup. So yeah.
Okay.
We have Buenaventura. We have Sharma, Gomez, Denzel Dagdag, Santi Romero, and of course Rocco Zamora. So who do you guys think gets the last?
I'm torn between between Gomez and maybe an extra big in Sarmiento, but I might go Gomez. How about you guys?
Nabanggit na ba si Ryle Melencio?
Yes,
Yes, he's here.
Binanggit na.
Sarmiento is actually a good shout if we need size. Like,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's what
He
I'm
might
torn
use
between Gomez Sarmiento.
he
Pwede
might
nga.
use the
Kasi-
Isaiah Phillips spot at least, diba? But
Yes.
maybe he will see more action than Isaiah did. So
Pati ano din.
but
Kasi
ang problem natin kay
practically-
Sarmiento siguro is we didn't see him much. Yun lang siguro yung issue natin kay Dom.
Yeah, he was on the Wolves roster if I remember correctly, but yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
not significant time on the floor for even the Phil Oil. Parang wala.
All right.
The Asia
Wait,
basket naman.
si Mikey Cortez ba nabanggit na natin?
Hindi
No.
because of that we're not sure if he can make it. But if he can make it,
Yeah.
I think he has a case.
Yeah, same.
If he's healthy,
Sure. Yeah, if he's
he's healthy and ready to go.
Yun,
So,
kasi
for our
sa akin,
lineup-
it's either si
Yeah.
either si Mikey or si Dom. Yun yung ano dun.
Yeah, so for our final lineup, we have Phillips, Namangco, Pablo, Amos, Cortez, Baclaan, Dung, Goliana, Makalalag, Marasigan, Abadam, Daep, Melencio, Kines, Alian, and Sarmiento or Cortez if he's healthy. So you're
lineup
welcome,
siguro.
Coach. You're welcome, Coach Topex. You're
I'm
made
gonna
your job easy for you.
I'm gonna add that asterisk sa 16 spot. Gawin siguro
Yeah.
nila magpa free throw shootout. Parang merong service specialist, 'di ba, sa volleyball. Why not have a free throw specialist?
All right. Whoever can make 10 free throws in a row gets that last 16 slot.
Wala.
Baka deadline na, guys! Tapusin nyo na! Deadline na! Kaya submit yung roster. Tapusin nyo na. Yeah, finish this, please.
Walang yan.
Yeah. But,
Alam mo,
alright,
malala
guys.
dito yung malala dito is anyone who can shoot above our average, gets in.
That should. Gia, if you're still within age, you might be able to make the team. That range. I think it's still above average. Final topic for today, guys. We've talked about the roster. Now we have another problem incoming, eligible in season 89. Gagate, 7 Gagate.
Kala ko kung sino eh.
No. Let's go with the official ones. The ones who've been officially announced.
Okay.
Okay, nice official.
Okay.
Transferee from UP, of course, an LSJH alumnus, another big. Didn't have much impact on that UP team. Transferring to Sal tried to find his feet. Are you guys excited? Do you see that he has a future role with us? Pablo, of course, the perfect example, came in. Not have much impact on that UP team.
Yeah, we turned around kung paano siya maglaro.
Yep. Samson effect there, grew his hair, became a better player. Maybe that's it. G, excited for 7 coming on board. Do you see there's something for him here in the LaSalle program?
Am I excited for 7 coming on board? It's hard for me to say right now, mostly because not to demean him or anything, but ever since he was in high school, if it was a decision between 7 or Luis, it was always going to be Luis.
Yes.
And not to demean him or anything. And even in Luis's first year in UP, he played significantly more than 7 in the same way na last year. I don't think 7 has played as well. So the honest answer is I'm actually not very, very certain of what he can bring to the table, mostly because I haven't seen him play over the last 2 or 3 years. But that being said, tama din si Vic and si Brian na parang we turned Luis around. He's playing so much better now. And if we can get 7 up to speed with that extra full year of full-on training, and you can teach height, then that will be really, really good for us. I also think that to play in our team, where we have very solid bigs, na si Mike, si Mason, si Luis, and we're gonna build that tradition over time, because even Mason's playing better as a big now than he was in Ateneo. I can imagine how effective 7 can become. So this is just purely logical. But from an emotional standpoint, I'm obviously very happy na we have another LSGH boy who's going back.
Another prodigal son.
Another prodigal
Yep.
son. And maybe this is a good lessons for the LSGH boys. Na wag na mag-prodigal son. Just go straight to the LSU and have 5
Diba?
days.
Skip.
Diba?
Save yourself those 2 years.
Oh.
Just
Yeah.
go straight to the solution.
No, kasi
And you also have to... Yeah, go ahead, Gio.
No, kasi like we have Ram Sharma on the team as well. I can imagine in a year or two that guy's gonna bulk up and
Hopefully it develops, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
and
Yeah.
Correct.
yeah. If we can give us a game 3 performance just like his dad, I'll take that.
And I see now it's now the age where any player can leave anytime they get recruited for a foreign league. It's also good to have a good stockpile of players in your reserve, especially when it comes to
Yeah.
bigs.
Agree.
You can't overdo it. You can't be like UP with 3-team ace and plus Guangmin College under your roster. But it's important to have a good pipeline ready for situations. How about you, Vic? Oh, go ahead, Brian. You can start with Brian. What's
Gusto
your
ko
thoughts on that?
gusto ko nabanggit mo yung Guangming eh. Feeling ko yun yung turning point ni Seven Gagate. Hindi na tayo kinausap for the record. Feeling ko nung pinadala sa Guangming, ayoko na dito. Punta na ako na sa...
What school is this? Steven Real School.
Ba't yung ka pa palaruin with Guangming? That may or may not be true for the disclaimer.
Yeah.
Sabihin na lang, ay sinabi ng
Nothing lang yan.
taga-Quiver.
Kwentong lang yan. Kwentong GC lang. Kwentong GC.
But it makes sense.
Oo. Diba?
It makes sense.
Nabanggit yung Guangming, naalala ko lang.
Yeah.
Pinadat nga pala si Seven.
Bigla kang niloan, no? Bigla kang niloan
Yeah.
sa Guangming. Parang ganun siya.
I wonder if we had to take some classes there too, diba? Doon mo sa Guangming sasabihin. Aral ka muna daw nilang klase.
Oo.
Final thoughts. Final thoughts, Vic, on today's on Seven's transfer today's episode.
Ang ko is I'm looking forward kasi may sample. I think we have a sample use case already with Luis. So I'm hoping kasi yun nga 7 is still legit 6'7", 6'8", and then kung may improve natin siya, mapapalabas yung totoong laro. It will be helpful kasi since Mike's playing his last year. So kumbaga, kailangan natin ng as much bigs as possible because hindi mo mapapalit, parang wala kang mahanap na, I don't think may mahanap tayo na like for like player kay Mike for now. So but then if our coaching staff can prove us wrong, syempre we'll be happy na kung may mahanap tayo na parang clone talaga ni Mike to step in starting next season or moving forward. It will always be welcome. Pero yun nga, if we can, kumbaga, tutumbasan mo ng collective effort among kung sino mang big yun nandyan kung ano yung ma-miss natin kay Mike, at least, di ba? 7 will be one of those na makakatulong for us.
So let's see who'll see 7 in season 89. Thanks, guys, for listening for today's episode. Again, this is our episode of our UAP preview series of the next few weeks. As we get to that season 88 opening, we'll have some guests coming on board, help us preview the season. We'll be also giving our predictions episode. We'll be predicting each game, the finals, MVP, and who will be champions. So stay tuned on that. For that, always also subscribe to the Quiver on YouTube and Spotify. Check the latest results. I'm sure you're excited for the season. We definitely are. So stay tuned for the latest content on the Green Archers opening in the UAP. So Gio, Vic, Brian, thanks everyone for listening. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who will be on your final 16? And as we always say, Animal Asal.
7 and 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. Hashtag now. All right.